Group Purchasing Organization. What is a GPO? How does it work? And how can it benefit your small business? A group purchasing organization, or GPO, combines the purchasing power of a collective of businesses to leverage better pricing, service levels, and account representation from suppliers in order to ultimately simplify the buying process for purchasing professionals. Find out how a GPO can benefit your small business, nonprofit, or local collective. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today, I want to talk to you about group purchasing organizations in the United States and Canada and also elsewhere in the whole world. What is a GPO? A group purchasing organization uses the purchasing power of a group of businesses, its members, to negotiate better pricing, service levels, and account representation from vendors, its suppliers, to simplify ultimately the buying process for procurement or purchasing professionals. In return, suppliers gain increased market share and access to decision makers at customer organizations throughout their industries. So in a nutshell, a GPO, it works like this. You have on one end a group of businesses, those are the members of the GPO, and on the other end you have account representation from vendors, and those are the suppliers. And basically, some suppliers have a limited minimum quantity that you need to order from them. So by combining their powers, by combining their purchasing powers, all the businesses, the members of the GPO, are able to place larger orders. How does a GPO work? Group purchasing organizations create and manage contracts for indirect materials and services, direct materials and commodities that are mutually beneficial to both the GPO suppliers and members. To do this, GPOs first create a membership base that is comprised of companies looking to channel their spend using the GPO's agreements. So the combined spend of this member companies creates leverage. It is this leverage, if you think about it, that continues to attract GPO supplier partners and motivates them to offer their best pricing and service levels to GPO members. The great thing is that as spend increases, a GPO can continue to strategically source more agreements with suppliers that have the ability to provide better pricing and agreements that then GPO members could achieve on their own. So if GPO members can never achieve certain agreements on their own, they have to combine their forces. So GPO suppliers will actually forego margin opportunities because their involvement in the GPO will greatly reduce the amount of money they need to spend acquiring new businesses. At the end of the day, members rely on GPOs to help solve their procurement and sourcing concerns, and suppliers rely on GPOs to build stronger buyer relationships with a diverse portfolio of companies from many industries. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the GPO members and also the GPO suppliers. So GPO membership ultimately allows both parties to save time, very important, money, resources, and also simplify the buying process so that they can concentrate on the projects that are most important to their respective companies and bottom lines. So having said that, let's have a conversation around how a GPO adds value. So as group purchasing organization members continue to use GPO agreements that are being constantly managed by the GPO, value increases for both members and suppliers. How does that happen? So when you have more member spend, you automatically have more spend flowing through agreements, which allow GPOs to negotiate even deeper discounts and continue to improve terms and conditions with suppliers. And as these supplier relationships mature and solidify, a GPO can likely further mitigate risk. And they can do that by engaging multiple people at various levels throughout supplier organizations. Now, it's true that this level of engagement saves all GPOs money, time, and resources, as I said earlier. But a GPO does even better. They go beyond those impressive benefits of money, time, and resource saving to produce sustainable value. This is because even if savings diminish, let's say over time, right? A GPO will be constantly looking for new ways here to enhance agreements and supplier performance. So suppliers who engage at this deeper level deeper level, we'll also see sustainable value. So again, the sustainable, the value sustainability I'm talking about, you see it on the supplier side and also on the GPO member side. So for suppliers, the sustainable value is very important, and this is how it works. The large, diverse portfolio of members they get access to, the long-term relationships they build, the collaborative engagement they see, and the in-depth industry knowledge they receive will continue to pay dividends over many years. What industries do GPOs operate in? That's a great question. GPOs can operate in countless industries. A lot of people think you have to be in a specific industry for a GPO to benefit you. No, they operate in countless industries. However, research has shown that GPOs have been found to be extremely effective in many core industries, including government, healthcare, hospitality, food service, electrical, plumbing, nonprofits, industrial manufacturing, retail, and education. So what enables GPOs to thrive in those sectors is the sheer number of companies that occupy that space. So if you're, by combining the span of those companies, both the members' buying power and the suppliers' market share become greater. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're also having our conversation around GPO benefits. And I want to talk to you now about how do you choose a GPO? If you're a small business, you are a nonprofit, you are working in some of the industries I just mentioned, and you're trying to find a way to lower your spend to increase your productivity. How do you go about doing this? By the way, if you love the content I've been sharing with you so far, please consider subscribing to our channel. It helps the channel grow. And please turn on the notification bell so you receive anytime we release a new show. You are actually in the front row. You can receive a notification from your platform telling you that we have a new show available, and we release shows every single day, rain or shine. How do you choose a GPO? Because all GPOs provide access to leveraged agreements. The level of contract management is the major differentiator, if you think about it, because an advanced GPO manages the life cycle of supplier contracts by monitoring changing buying patterns in the market, continually seeking opportunities for improvement and potential savings, and passing those savings to the GPO members, by also ensuring that the terms of the contract are being followed. If you have a GPO, they have a team that monitors the contract, making sure that the suppliers and GPO members, for that matter, are following the clauses of the contract that they both have signed. They also review and audit the price files. Also, the GPO will also manage the life cycle of supplier contract by implementing a thorough supplier relationship management program. Now, remember that those activities require an extensive time investment when performed correctly, and being part of a GPO removes that time expenditure from member companies. Additionally, the most sophisticated GPOs have partner-based relationships with their suppliers that focus exclusively on the total value of the contract instead of simply offering the lowest price. And what we've seen in our research is every year it's increasingly clear that many companies continue to deal with resource constraints, making it nearly impossible to maintain in-depth category expertise. So by doing this, a GPO can strategically help its members, and it can also serve as an extension of the members' teams, enabling them to achieve their spend management goals while also freeing up their time and resources to focus on more important things. And what are those? Strategic initiatives while increasing their spend influence. So the bottom line here is that when you want to choose a GPO that helps you get immediate cost savings, ease of implementation, and has an ongoing program management, right? So and the great thing is, once you get into the GPO and as they continue to grow and gain more leverage, you can also access an operational environment where the GPO can have services that improve your customer service and deliver ongoing sustainable value to you as a member. Remember that the one of the important elements here is that if you're part of a GPO that's growing, they can help you extend your procurement strategy into a larger context, into the procurement strategy of the GPO itself. So by doing that, the GPO will extend its suppliers' sales operations and provide a collaborative environment that members can rely on. Let's have another question around the fact that do GPOs only cover standard off-the-shelf categories and products? The GPO portfolio does include standard off-the-shelf categories and products, but they also cover many core spend categories as well, including direct and indirect materials, value-added services like healthcare, human resources, and much more. The thing is that you have to make sure that the GPO you reach out to has a portfolio of solutions that continuously evolve to ensure an area of non-standard category that could suit their members. What I'm trying to say here is that you have to look at your niche, you have to look at your sector, and you have to look for the kind of a GPO that covers your sector, but make sure that their portfolio of products and solutions is not static, it's not lethargic. You want a GPO that is constantly growing, that is constantly adding new core spend categories, that is constantly evaluating the market, that is constantly customer centric. A GPO that is able to have a customer centric strategy will continually shift its tactics in terms of picking suppliers, in terms of negotiating contract level agreements with the suppliers, and making sure that those suppliers have an operational platform that is in sync with what the GPO members are looking for. Now, does a GPO take the place of your company's purchasing department? The GPO, it really depends on what you want. It really depends. GPOs are kind of flexible. They're operationally flexible, and legally they can also structure the deals with the membership deals in a way that bring win-win agreements to both parties. It's actually win-win-win agreement to all three parties: the supplier, the member, and also the GPO itself. So the GPO will become an extension of your procurement team, not a substitution, if that's what you want, because sourcing is still done in-house by your company, and the GPO does not in any way resume the role of the purchasing department. They never resume or assume that role. So the GPO will serve as an additional resource for sourcing teams to increase productivity and efficiency. What I'm trying to say here is that you want your in-house team to first source the products, first identify what kind of products your company needs in its operation. And once they actually find out once they actually identify the product, they pass on the file to the GPO. Because once you say, listen, this is the product I want, this is really the kind of stuff I need in my operations, then you pass it on to the GPO to find that product at the best quality possible, at the cheapest price possible, right? Quality and price. By joining the GPO, a company's procurement function actually expands its scope of control as well as enhances its strategic relevance to the organization. So you can take advantage of what the GPO has already negotiated, so you can focus on areas where you don't currently have a presence. It's like taking a small team and growing into a large team. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We're also having a conversation here around group purchasing organization. What is a GPO? How does it work? And how it can benefit your small business. What if you can realize greater savings on your own for certain categories? Now, this is a great question because it kind of illustrates an important advantage of the GPO. In the engagement process, new members determine which pre-negotiated agreements they want to participate in. So you have a chance to review what kind of pre-negotiated agreements you want to get in. There is no requirement or obligation for a member to partake in any given agreement. However, the GPO is a resource that creates value for its members in numerous ways aside from savings. Does joining a GPO mean your small business can only purchase from suppliers in the group? Now, this is a great question because members of the GPO always have complete autonomy to purchase from any supplier they choose. There is no obligation and no minimum. Members have the choice to opt in or opt out of each pre-negotiated supplier offering. This motivates suppliers to create attractive programs to provide additional value. Members can even, if you are a member of a GPO, you can even leverage category offerings and other resources based on their unique needs and where they can find the most value can be driven. So bottom line here is you're not forced to buy from the, you're not compelled to buy from the GPO, but it is recommended because again, the GPO has already talked to suppliers. They have a signed pre-negotiated agreement. The supplier is comfortable offering a certain quantity at a certain price, and by actually buying from the suppliers that are within the GPO, you are able to take advantage of those economies of scale, of those group discounts that have already been negotiated. And if your purchasing department is tasked with finding the best solutions for your business, all while saving money, why do you need to reach out to a GPO? Great point here. But you can, by joining the GPO, your company will be bypassing time-consuming RFP, so request for proposal, and sourcing procedures, while gaining the flexibility to impact other areas of spend so that you can focus on more strategic initiatives, the initiatives that bring money to the business, that expand the market share, that expand the brand visibility. A GPO, when the right GPO, can also help create change management timelines and implementation plans to improve performance and to help you achieve savings faster and maintain continuous program compliance. So because the GPO will shoulder so much of the process, it will save you a substantial amount of time and headaches in the end. And especially if you're dealing with government contracts, you know how heavy and how convoluted the process sometimes can be, the RFP process. So and the solicitation process. So by outsourcing part of the tasks, or by delegating rather some of the tasks to the GPO, you are actually saving a lot of time, money, and resources. I also want to talk about the fact that some people think that, they have a unique business. Can a GPO still benefit them and their specific requirements? The GPO, any proper GPO, operates within a flexible framework that allows all members to enjoy all the benefits of group leverage while retaining the ability to negotiate adjustments and incorporate options that address specific needs. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm just saying it is flexible. Even if you have a small business that is unique, that operates in a unique frame of work or in a unique niche, you can still benefit from a GPO while retaining your specific requirements. The members participate in structuring the supplier agreement so that the GPO can create options best suited for the members' goals, no matter how unique those goals may be. You can actually implement a great GPO strategy for your organization. And how do you do that? You have to go on the internet and pick your best and look for GPOs. And then once that you find one that is one whose processes and pre-negotiated offers and whose business model fits with your business, you need to contact the organization. And once you contact them, they'll probably tell you they'll send you a short introductory form that you need to fill. You need to have a conversation with one of the GPO reps. And once you do that, they will start a conversation with you. During that time, they will help analyze your current spend to look at areas where they can enhance your current procurement strategies. Then they will assist you in any change management efforts, which will be followed by continuous supplier management and market checks. Remember, joining a GPO is free. The process is very easy, and they will do all the heavy lifting for you and your company. The thing here is that, let me just give you a few, and the reason why you want to go with a GPO so that they can do the heavy lifting for you is that there are some benefits ultimately to be gained through a GPO contract versus going out for a bid and submitting an RFP. GPO contracts are vetted by similar organizations for a common goal. They act as an extension of the organization to manage categories in the best interest of their members. GPO contracts allow for configuration to support unique requirements. They also have terms and conditions to stay within market pricing throughout the duration of the agreement. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I am still having a conversation here around what is a GPO, how does it work, and how can it benefit your small business. Now, let me talk about the benefits. What are the benefits of free GPO membership? Remember, it's free to join. First, you have streamlined and cost-effective procurement. So as a member of one excellent and effective GPO, your purchasing process is streamlined for superior contract terms and savings. The GPO will focus on the entire sourcing process using market intelligence to ensure the agreements they have, their agreements are great. The agreements are impeccable. The agreements add value to the members. Even further, the GPO will manage the continually convoluted, sometimes often convoluted agreements with suppliers, so they do not decrease in value after implementation, because the market shifts, market changes, and suppliers change too. But the GPO will take care of that contract management in the long run. You also have superior pricing through unmatched leverage. So as part of the largest network in purchasing, members of a GPO leverage the greatest buying power to achieve best value pricing through aggregated spend. So this yields cost-effective pricing, timely turnarounds, and better contracts. What about RFP and bid avoidance? So you're able to deliver, like the best GPO will help you get highly leveraged contracts that bypass and in many cases make the time-consuming RFP bid process unnecessary, because they will have a seat at the table with their supplier partners. Service requests are therefore elevated because contracts are pre-qualified and RFP consequently become unnecessary. So allowing procurement to make informed purchasing decision easier and increase speeds to savings in the meantime. Third, high quality products and services. So as a member of a GPO, you gain access to suppliers that have each been thoroughly vetted to ensure that they are a market leader that will deliver exceptional quality and service. This reduces your lead time to market and guarantees that you receive the best value for your spend. So the GPO will help increase your total cost of ownership without ever sacrificing quality. You also get reliable expert advocacy. So normally the team of procurement professionals you talk to at the GPO, they are committed to bringing value to you and your stakeholders. Remember, they are also supply chain management experts. They understand the whole supply chain process. So, and most of the time is that those people working at a GPO, they have held high-level purchasing and supply chain management positions, and they are recognized as respected leaders by peers and suppliers. So the thing here is that they have walked the mile in your shoes, and they're here to advocate on your behalf. They know what it is. They know the kind of solution you're looking for. And you also have true partnership. So the GPO will act as your advocate to enhance your procurement strategy and drive efficiency, performance, and true cost savings within your organization. So their goal ultimately is to provide what? Insightful, scalable, and effective solutions for your spend management while ensuring limitless partnership potential. So being a part of a GPO community means connecting with thousands of professionals, sales leaders, and executives, all sharing aligned goals. All right, folks, really appreciate having you around. Thank you so much for sticking around today. And I want to quickly recap today's conversation. And I was just talking to you about group purchasing organization, what it is, how does it work, and how it can benefit your small business. So I spoke to you about what is a GPO, how does a GPO work, how does a GPO add value, what industries do GPOs operate in, how do you choose a GPO, do GPOs only cover standard off-the-shelf categories and products, does a GPO take the place of your company's purchasing department, what if you can realize greater savings on your own for certain categories, does joining a GPO mean your organization can only purchase from suppliers in the group? Your purchasing department is tasked with finding the best solutions for your organization, all while saving money. How can a GPO help? the if your business is unique, can a GPO still benefit you and your specific requirements? How can you implement a GPO strategy for your organization? What are the benefits of a GPO contract versus going out for bid and submitting an RFP? Thank you so much for listening to this conversation. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.